My child, there was a night written in the stars, when your breath was supposed to end, but death missed its mark. It came for you, yet left carrying someone else's soul instead. My child, there was a night when the world seemed calm, when the stars hung silently above, when you walked in peace, without knowing that destiny had written a final line for you, a line that said your breath would end, your heart would stop, your story would close, and yet in that very same night, the unseen realm trembled, because death itself had already set its eyes on you. Your name was called, your soul was summoned, and the shadow of the grave began to move closer and closer, reaching out with cold hands to take what it believed was already marked. But listen, for I was there. I saw the hour unfold. I watched as darkness crept nearer. I felt the pull of fate demanding your end, and I raised my voice in the halls of eternity, and I declared, not this one, not today, not now. But child, you must understand, death never comes empty. Once it is summoned, it cannot return without a soul. If not yours, then another. If not your heartbeat, then another's heartbeat. If not your silence, then another's silence. And so in that very hour when you were spared, when you were shielded, when your life was pulled away from the edge, another soul stepped forward, perhaps not willingly, perhaps unknowingly, but they carried away the death that was meant for you. It could have been a stranger, someone you never knew, someone whose face you would not recognize, or it could have been someone whose path crossed yours once, briefly, so ordinary you would not even remember. Or perhaps it was someone much closer than you realize, a life bound to yours in ways you cannot yet understand. But what is certain is this: while you continued to breathe, while you continued to rise the next morning and see the light of day, they did not. Their heartbeat ceased so yours could go on. Their journey ended so yours could continue. And this, my child, is why at times you feel a heaviness in your spirit that you cannot explain, why you sometimes wake with a strange sorrow, why the tragedies of others strike you deeper than words can explain, because deep within your soul remembers, it knows the truth. It carries the secret that was hidden from your eyes, that the night of your death was rewritten, and someone else bore it in your place. Your life is not an accident. It is borrowed time. It is mercy extended. It is grace that was purchased at the cost of another soul, and every step you take, every breath you draw, every sunrise you see is evidence of a mystery that heaven has woven into your story. A mystery that demands you ask yourself, why were you spared? What reason was great enough that death itself was turned away? What purpose still burns so strongly in you that the shadow could not claim you? Do not dismiss this. Do not take it lightly, because the truth is that you are living not only for yourself, but also in the place of the one who is no longer here. And one day, when all mysteries are revealed, you will see them, and they will whisper to you, I carried away the death that was meant for you. I walked into the night so you could see the morning. But until that day comes, live with the knowledge that your survival is no accident. Your existence is no coincidence. You are alive because destiny shifted. And when destiny shifts, it is always for a reason far greater than you can imagine.
My child, now that you know the truth that your death was diverted, you must also know this: the soul who carried away what was meant for you was not chosen at random. Heaven does not deal in accidents. There is no chance in the divine. Every exchange has meaning. Every sacrifice has weight. And though your eyes cannot yet see it, their life was bound to yours in ways that cross the unseen lines of destiny, because no life is taken without reason, and no soul is exchanged without purpose. You may think it was a stranger, someone distant, someone you never knew, but even the stranger is not truly a stranger, for the threads of destiny weave every life together in ways beyond human understanding. The one who carried your death may have crossed your path once in silence, may have passed you on a street, may have looked into your eyes for a brief second, and in that instant, heaven decided their steps would fall so yours could continue. Or perhaps it was someone you once loved, someone who walked beside you for a season, someone whose departure still aches inside you, and you never understood why their life ended so suddenly, why their breath was cut short while yours went on. But now I tell you the mystery. They carried what was meant for you. And still, child, the truth goes deeper, for sometimes the one who bears your death does not even know it. They live their days unaware that they are the chosen vessel, unaware that destiny has marked them for an exchange, unaware that their hour is not truly theirs but taken in your place. They walk into danger unknowingly. They lie down in silence unknowingly. But heaven watches, for even their unknowing sacrifice is written with meaning, and your survival is written with responsibility. Do you understand the weight of this? You are not alive only to breathe, eat, and walk in circles of ordinary life. You are alive because a story greater than you demanded it, because your purpose was so urgent, so necessary, that heaven said, "No, not this one, not now, let another carry it." And that means your days are not your own. Your survival is a calling. Your borrowed time is a mission. And when you feel the heaviness in your chest, when you sit alone and wonder why you are here while others are gone, it is because the spirit within you knows the truth. It whispers to you even when you try to ignore it. It reminds you that your existence is more than survival. It is a second chance written in blood, sealed in silence, and carried by another soul. And if you waste it, if you live as though your life is yours alone, then you dishonor the very exchange that kept you here.
My child, now listen carefully, for there are signs written in your life that reveal the truth you try to forget. There are moments that whisper to you, moments when you felt death brush past your skin, and yet somehow you survived. Accidents you narrowly escaped, illnesses that almost broke you, nights when you thought your final breath had come, but morning still found you alive. These are not coincidences. They are reminders. Reminders that your death has already been paid. Reminders that you are walking in time borrowed from another soul. Think back to the strange heaviness that sometimes rests on you, the feeling that you cannot explain, the ache in your spirit when you hear of a sudden tragedy, the way your heart tightens when someone else's life ends too soon. Do you not wonder why it cuts so deeply, why it feels personal even when you did not know them? It is because your soul remembers what your mind forgets. It knows that the shadow was once meant for you. It knows that the silence that claimed them was first written with your name. And though heaven has covered you, the weight of the exchange lingers in your spirit like an echo that will not fade. Sometimes in dreams you see faces you cannot recognize. You see strangers walking into darkness. You see hands reaching out and then slipping away. You wake up with tears you cannot explain, and you dismiss it as nothing. But I tell you, it is the memory of your spirit. It is the unseen truth breaking through your sleep, showing you glimpses of the one who carried away what you were meant to bear.
And perhaps, child, you have asked yourself many times why you were spared when others were not, why you survived when others perished, why your story continues when theirs ended. The answer is not simple, but it is certain. You were preserved for purpose. You were shielded because your mission is not yet complete. You were chosen because heaven has work in you that cannot yet be abandoned. But understand this with all your heart. The weight of being spared is not a gift for comfort. It is a responsibility. To waste your days now would be to dishonor the one who lost theirs. To live carelessly now would be to trample on the mercy that covered you. Every sunrise you see is a testimony. Every breath you take is a covenant. And every heartbeat is a reminder that destiny was rewritten in your favor. And yes, there will be times when guilt tries to consume you, when the thought rises, why me? Why am I alive while they are gone? And that heaviness will try to break your spirit. But hear me, child. Survivor's guilt is not your burden. It is a shadow of the truth. For heaven does not spare in vain. Heaven does not make mistakes. If you are still here, it is because you are still needed. If you still breathe, it is because your work is unfinished. If you still walk this earth, it is because your story is still unfolding. And the life that was exchanged for yours demands that you rise, that you stand, that you live not half-heartedly, but fully, not in fear, but in purpose, not in silence, but in strength. And one day, when the veil of time is lifted, when all things hidden are revealed, you will stand before the one who carried your death. And in that moment, you will see that their sacrifice was not loss, but transformation, that your borrowed time was not theft, but grace, and that every step you took in courage and purpose honored the life they gave. And their soul will look upon you with peace, and you will finally understand that heaven never makes an exchange without reason, and that your life, spared and extended, was always meant to shine brighter because of the shadow you escaped.
My child, you think it was only once, a single night when your death was carried away. But the truth is far more mysterious, for many times the shadow has risen against you. Many times the hour of silence has drawn near. Many times the grave has whispered your name. And yet each time destiny shifted, each time death reached for you, it returned with empty hands. For I was standing guard, and I declared again and again, not this one, not yet. You do not know the number of times heaven has shielded you, the number of times danger has been diverted, the number of times a tragedy was waiting but did not claim you. Because when your purpose is not yet finished, death itself cannot hold you. But remember, every time it turns away, it does not vanish. It seeks another. It takes another. And so you are alive because others are not. You are breathing because others fell. Your story continues because theirs was cut short. Think back to the close calls you brushed aside, the moment you stepped out of a place only minutes before disaster struck, the day you missed a path that turned deadly for another, the time you delayed for no reason, and yet that delay spared you. Those were not coincidences. Those were the fingerprints of heaven shifting your destiny, pulling you away from the edge, exchanging your end for another's. And sometimes, child, the exchange was not with strangers, but with people tied to your life, people you loved, people you grieved, and you wondered why fate was so cruel to them while sparing you. But I tell you, it was not cruelty, it was mystery. It was sacrifice hidden in silence. It was destiny rewriting itself so that you could walk further, carry more, fulfill what they could not. Do you feel the weight of this now? The truth that your survival is not light but heavy? That you are walking in time that was meant to be finished?
that your heart beats because another's stopped. And though you may not know their name, their face, their story, you are forever bound to them in the unseen. Their silence became your song. Their ending became your continuation. Their night became your morning. And whether you realize it or not, every breath you take honors their memory or wastes it. And child, sometimes you sense it without words, the sudden shiver when nothing is near, the dream that leaves you trembling, the unexplainable pull in your chest when you hear of someone gone too soon. These are not random feelings. These are echoes of the shifts that happened for you. They are whispers from the unseen reminding you that you are walking in borrowed time. They are fragments of a truth too heavy for the world, but clear in the spirit. You should not be here, and yet you are, because heaven said no, not yet. But listen well, for with every shift comes a responsibility. Heaven does not spare you endlessly without reason. Each time death is turned away, it is because there is still something in you to release, something the world has not yet seen, a purpose that cannot be buried, a light that cannot be silenced. And if you choose to ignore it, if you live carelessly, if you waste the days that were extended for you, then you are living in dishonor of the very lives that were taken instead. But if you rise, if you walk with meaning, if you use your days to change, to love, to heal, to give, then you turn their sacrifice into glory, their silence into legacy, their ending into the continuation of something far greater. And one day, when all veils are lifted, when the hidden pages of destiny are revealed, you will see how many times the shadow turned away. You will see the faces of those who carried your death. You will see the moments where the world almost lost you, and you will fall to your knees in awe. For then you will understand that your story was never ordinary, that your survival was never luck, that your life is the testimony of exchanges too deep for human eyes. And when you finally meet the ones who bore your silence, they will not condemn you, they will not accuse you, they will smile and whisper, "I gave away my ending so you could finish yours. I walked into the dark so you could bring more light." And in that moment, you will know that every step you took in purpose was the honor they deserved.
My child, by now you understand that your survival was no accident, that your borrowed time is no coincidence, but the question that has been burning inside you still remains. Why? Why has heaven spared you again and again? Why have deaths been exchanged? Why are you still here when others are not? The answer is heavy, but it is also holy, for heaven does not guard a soul without purpose. Heaven does not shield a life without mission. Heaven does not rewrite destiny without reason. You are alive because your life carries something that must still be released. You are breathing because your journey holds a chapter that has not yet been written. You are walking because your steps are carrying a story that must still be told. Do you think your survival was only for yourself? Only for your comfort? Only so you could exist longer? No, child. You were spared because your existence is tied to others. Your voice will reach those who are broken. Your presence will heal those who are wounded. Your strength will lift those who are falling. Your story will awaken those who are asleep. Your life will save lives. You were spared because your mission is not just about you. It is about everyone whose destiny is tied to yours. And this is why death could not hold you. This is why the grave could not claim you.
This is why your name was erased from the scroll of endings and written again on the scroll of continuations. Because your purpose is greater than your pain. Your mission is heavier than your mistakes. Your light is brighter than your shadows. And until that purpose is fulfilled, no darkness can silence you. No shadow can bury you. No death can end you. But remember this, child. The time you walk in now is not endless. The hours you have been given are not infinite. Heaven has given you extension, not eternity. And what you do with these days will echo in eternity itself. If you waste them on fear, if you waste them on regret, if you waste them on emptiness, then the exchange that saved you will have been in vain. But if you rise, if you live with courage, if you walk in love, if you carry out your calling with fire, then you transform that exchange into glory. You honor those who bore your death, and you fulfill the reason heaven has preserved you. Child, hear me now. You were spared because your story is not finished. You were spared because someone in this world still needs you. You were spared because your hands have not yet healed all they are meant to heal. Your voice has not yet spoken all it was meant to declare. Your heart has not yet loved all it was meant to love. Your life has not yet shown all the light it was meant to shine. This is why you are still here. This is why death has been delayed. This is why heaven has whispered over you again and again, not this one, not yet. And one day when you stand before the eternal throne, when the mystery is no longer hidden, when the veil is removed, you will see the tapestry of your story. You will see how many souls were touched because you lived, how many hearts were changed because you endured, how many lives were saved because you did not give up. And in that moment, you will finally understand the full reason why heaven spared you. And every question you carried will be answered in the light.
My child, now that you know why you were spared, now that you understand the depth of the exchange that saved your life, you must also understand the danger of ignoring this truth. For survival is not enough. Life is not merely breathing. Time is not simply passing. If you live without purpose, if you walk without direction, if you ignore the calling that has preserved you, then you are treading on sacred ground with empty feet, and heaven does not take this lightly. Every day you waste, every moment you squander, every hour spent in fear, doubt, or meaningless pursuits is a step away from the reason your death was delayed. It is a shadow over the soul that bore your end. It is a betrayal of the mercy that preserved you. For the one who gave up their life so that yours could continue did not do so for your comfort. They did not do so for your convenience. They did so for your mission. And if you fail to walk that path, then the exchange becomes a wound. The gift becomes a debt. The silence of their sacrifice becomes a cry that echoes across eternity, and your heart will bear the weight of what could have been. Do you understand the danger, child? You were spared to act, not to idle, to rise, not to fall, to shine, not to hide, to live, not merely exist, to carry forward what others cannot, to speak what others fear, to heal what others have broken, to shine light where darkness would reign. And every time you choose to ignore this calling, every time you choose to delay, every time you think life is only for you, the spirit within you trembles. The echoes of that stolen death whisper and warning, reminding you that heaven watches, that destiny waits, that the purpose that preserved you is still unfinished. And yet even in warning there is mercy, even in fear there is hope,
Even in the weight of responsibility, there is opportunity. For you are not condemned for being unaware. You are not lost for being uncertain. You are not punished for being human. But you are given this message so that your eyes may open, your heart may awaken, your spirit may rise. For if you embrace what was given to you, if you honor the life that was exchanged, if you walk in courage and love and truth, then the shadow that once sought your end cannot touch you again, and the legacy of your survival will be eternal, a testimony to the one who carried your death, a tribute to heaven's mercy, and a fulfillment of the purpose that kept you alive. So remember this, child. Let it burn in your mind and echo in your heart. To waste the life you have been granted is to dishonor the one who fell in your place. To delay your mission is to betray the mercy that preserved you. To live without purpose is to invite sorrow where there could have been light. And heaven is patient, but not infinite. Mercy is enduring, but not endless. And the moment will come when the truth must be acted upon, when your steps must align with destiny, when your story must fulfill what was written before you ever drew breath. And when that moment arrives, you must not hesitate. You must not falter. You must walk in the path that was carved for you. For every heartbeat you take, every breath you draw, every step you walk carries within it the weight of another soul, the mercy of heaven, and the responsibility of purpose.
My child, now you stand at the edge of understanding. The veil has lifted just enough for you to see the truth that your life was never ordinary, the truth that every breath you have taken, every step you have walked, every sunrise you have witnessed was never just for you. The truth that someone else bore the weight of your ending so that you could continue. The truth that heaven has written a path for you that even death cannot interrupt. The truth that mercy has been poured over you again and again, that destiny has shifted in your favor countless times, and that all of this has led you to this very moment, this very recognition, this very awakening. You may feel awe, you may feel fear, you may feel the weight of the lives that were exchanged for yours, but do not allow it to overwhelm you. For in that weight is your power, in that fear is your strength, in that awareness is your calling, and the mercy that preserved you is also the fire that will ignite your purpose. You were spared because the world still needs you, because hearts still need your touch, because voices still need to hear what only you can say, because light still needs to shine through you, and because destiny itself demanded that your story continue where another's ended. Every time you wonder why you are here, every time guilt tries to whisper in your ear, every time the shadow of mortality reminds you of the fragility of life, remember this. Your survival is not random. Your path is not empty. Your days are not yours to waste. And the life that was exchanged for yours demands that you rise, that you walk, that you fulfill what you were given, that you live not for comfort, not for fear, not for delay, but for purpose. And that purpose is greater than anything you could imagine, greater than any pain you have suffered, greater than any joy you have known, and it stretches beyond the horizon of your vision, into the unseen, into eternity itself. And when the time comes, when you finally meet the soul who bore your death, when the veil of mystery is fully lifted, you will see that they walked into the darkness willingly, or perhaps unknowingly, so that your light could continue. And you will understand that every challenge you faced, every danger you escaped, every miracle you witnessed was part of a divine exchange, a sacred story written in the stars, a tapestry of life and death woven together.
And the legacy of that exchange is not only survival, it is transformation, it is purpose fulfilled. So rise, child, rise fully into your life. Rise into the calling that has preserved you. Rise into the mission that has kept death at bay. Rise into the light that was never meant to dim, and let your days be a testament to the mercy that saved you, a tribute to the lives that were exchanged, a legacy that honors both heaven and the human heart. And remember always that you are alive not by accident, not by chance, not by luck, but because destiny, mercy, and love itself conspired to keep you here, to give you another chance, to entrust you with a story that only you can fulfill. And in that truth, let your heart burn, let your spirit soar, let your life shine, and let your purpose be your guide. Amen.
My child, now that you have walked with me through the shadows and the light, now that you have glimpsed the truth hidden behind the veil, now that your spirit has been stirred by the weight of what was taken in your place, it is time to understand the full depth of why you are still here, why the hand of death has not claimed you, why the tides of fate have bent in your favor again and again, and why the very universe itself has conspired to extend your life beyond what was written for you. Do you feel the heaviness in your chest when you think of those who were lost? That weight is not guilt, it is knowledge. It is the echo of a mercy that demanded a sacrifice. It is the reminder that your life was never meant to be ordinary, that every heartbeat you take carries with it the breath of another soul, that every step you walk is a continuation of a story written in heaven before your first cry, that every sunrise you witness is a gift purchased at the cost of someone else's ending, and that if you do not recognize this, if you do not rise to the calling that preserved you, then the mercy shown to you will go unhonored, the exchange will be in vain, and the truth of heaven's intervention will be wasted. But listen carefully, child, for the truth is more profound than you can yet comprehend. The soul who carried your death was chosen not by accident, not randomly, not by chance. There is a reason, there is a purpose, there is a thread connecting your life to theirs, and though your eyes may never have seen it, your heart has always known it, your spirit has always remembered it. Your being has always sensed the weight of what was exchanged. It may have been a stranger, or someone you once loved, someone whose absence haunted you, someone whose face you saw for only a moment, or perhaps it was someone closer than you can imagine, someone whose story intersected with yours in ways that were invisible to your human sight. Someone whose life became a shield, whose breath became your continuation, whose ending became your chance, and you carry that truth within you even now. There will be times, my child, when you feel the shadows pressing against you, when you feel the world is heavy, when the memory of others lost rises like a storm inside your chest, when fear whispers that you are alone, when grief threatens to consume you, and in those moments, remember this: the shadow that sought you, the hand of death that was meant to reach you, did not succeed, because I was there, because heaven intervened, because destiny demanded that you continue, because your purpose was not yet fulfilled, and because the story you are living now is only a continuation of the one written in eternity before your first breath. Do you feel the heaviness of this, child? Do you feel the gravity of what it means to live when death has been diverted from you? Every second you breathe, every word you speak, every act you perform carries the responsibility of those who fell in your place, the mercy that was given to you, and the purpose that has yet to be fulfilled. Your life is no longer simply yours. It is intertwined with the lives of others. It is linked to destinies that will only unfold because you survived. It is a torch passed from the fallen to the living, and you must carry it with reverence, with courage, with love, with fire, and with unwavering resolve. And know this, child, that the moments of near death, the accidents avoided, the illnesses survived, the dangers that brushed against you as if by invisible hands, the unexplainable delays, the near misses that made your heart race and your mind question reality. These were not coincidences. These were signposts, markers, reminders from heaven, echoes of the shifts that kept you alive, whispers from the divine that your time is not yet finished, messages encoded in reality itself, proof that your life is bound to a purpose so vast, so essential, that death could not claim you until your work is done. And what is that work, child? Your work is the light that you bring to the darkness, the love that you pour into hearts that are broken, the courage that you offer to souls that tremble, the hope that you ignite in places where despair reigns, the mercy you show to those who do not yet know mercy, the strength you extend to those who cannot find it on their own, the truth you speak even when it is difficult, the path you walk even when it is lonely, the legacy you leave even when no one notices, the difference you make simply because you are alive and conscious of what was traded for your survival. And if you forget, if you stray, if you live as though your life is ordinary, if you squander the time that was preserved for you, the weight of all that was exchanged will press upon your soul. The memory of the lives that were taken instead of yours will call out in lament. The mercy that was extended to you will be wasted, and heaven will remind you, not with anger, but with solemn warning, that the gift of life is also a covenant, that survival is also responsibility, that every heartbeat carries the echo of another soul, that every breath is a sacred trust, and ignoring this truth is to betray both the fallen and the living. But if you rise, child, if you walk in courage, if you live in purpose, if you shine with the light of awareness, if you embrace the calling that preserved you, if you honor the mercy that saved you, then your life becomes sacred, then your survival becomes holy, then every step, every word, every heartbeat resonates in eternity, and the legacy of the soul who bore your death transforms into a blessing, a story of hope, a testament to the beauty of divine intervention, a miracle that transcends the ordinary, a truth that will be remembered beyond your days, and a light that cannot be extinguished. So hear me now, my child. Hear the voice of heaven through me, the voice of truth, the voice of purpose, the voice of destiny.
You were spared for a reason. You were preserved for a purpose. You were extended for a calling. You were protected for a mission. And every breath you take, every step you walk, every choice you make must honor that truth, must carry forward that legacy, must fulfill the story that was written before your first breath and preserved by mercy. For the world still needs you, the hearts still need you, the light still needs you, and the divine will not allow you to remain unaware any longer. And when the time comes, child, when the veil lifts completely, when the mysteries are revealed, when the soul who carried your death stands before you, you will see the truth with your eyes. You will feel the sacrifice in your heart. You will understand the mercy in your spirit. And in that moment, the story of your life and theirs will be united. The purpose of your survival will shine brighter than you ever imagined. The legacy of mercy will become eternal, and your soul will rejoice knowing that the life you were given was never random, never meaningless, never wasted, and that the shadow that once sought you, the hand of death that was meant for you, has been transformed into a story of hope, a testament of love, and a miracle of destiny itself. Amen.